So fed up with these ridiculous job postings, I'm going to start publicly shaming these companies.
I have a theory, and I have for a while, that there are no jobs on LinkedIn. They are for lead generation. They just want your information, and there is no job.
Offering $11 an hour in 2026 is a joke.
So today we got another episode of a very popular series on this channel. We're going to be taking a look at some insane job listings and demands. It's interesting to see that ever since I started making videos on this channel, nothing has gotten better when it comes to these ridiculous listings. If anything, it's just gotten worse. We have a ton of stuff to go over today, along with comments from you guys from previous videos. So if you want to be featured on a future video, leave in the comments down below. But let's just jump right into it.
I just got back from an interview. Would you like to know how it went? Tell me why I get through almost the entire interview, right? I answer all this nice man's questions. We get to the very end, like this guy, he looks at my resume, looks me up and down and was like, you know, we're really looking for people with at least 2 years of relevant experience. But wait, I forgot to mention, this job interview was at Chipotle. What kind of experience do you need to be working in Chipotle? Sorry, I didn't go to chicken scooping school. Like, what? I don't even want this job. I just wanted some kind of income to pay the rent and afford the bills until I find a nice full-time job with my actual degree. But how cooked is the job market if I can't even get a job at Chipotle with a master's degree?
Now this isn't too far-fetched of a clip to see when you're looking at today's job market, but it actually gets even crazier in the comment section. I'm 5 years out of college. I have 4 degrees, 2 which are advanced masters, and I've been searching for a job in my career field for the past 5 years. You know what I've found? A job working at a dispensary. Still looking for that career job, apply to at least 5 jobs every day. Lost count of how many I've applied for over the past 5 years. I know it's at least above 1,000 at this point. Now at least with this comment, the type of degrees that they got definitely comes into play, because if you ended up getting 4 different degrees and haven't found a job in your field in 5 years, that probably means the type of degrees that you got weren't worthwhile. I mean, maybe I'm wrong, because we all know that the job market is atrocious right now, but we could just move on to some more listings. Please note that the hourly wage for this position is $16.25 an hour. If you're looking for comfort, keep scrolling. Immediate red flag. At Lido's, we outthink, outbuild, and outpace the status quo. Oh man. Because the mission demands it. We're not hiring followers. We're recruiting the ones who disrupt, provoke, and refuse to fail. Step 10 is ancient history. We're already at step 30, moving faster than anyone else dares. Again, for $16 an hour in today's world. It's incredible to see the amount of different examples we've gone over with this type of description. I really don't know how they think it works. To me, it immediately seems like I'm going to be overworked and underpaid and should just move on to the next listing. We got another post here, a senior copywriter that is apparently remote, but as soon as you look at the About the Job section, please apply if you're only willing to eventually work on site in Henderson, Nevada. While this role is listed as remote for visibility, it is an on-site position and requires in-office presence. So right out the gate, this company's lying to you. And at least in my own opinion, you can pay me any amount of money to live in Henderson, Nevada. I've been there once in my life, and I definitely don't want to live in the desert. Here's another one, job searching in 2026. What's your highest level of education? Anywhere from a high school diploma or GED all the way up to a PhD or a doctorate. But then the second question, what's the base salary you're willing to accept? How much could we possibly lowball you and you'd still work for this company? What kind of question is that? I asked you guys in an older video, what's the worst job listing you've ever seen? Leaving college, every single entry-level role required 5+ years of experience. We're going to see that a lot throughout this video. Every time I try to job search, I get results for vector marketing, and it's Cutco. It's Cutco in disguise. More MLMs. Cloudflare wanting a 14-round interview process in Germany. I said I'm not working there for free and I would bill them. Didn't get the job. Also flagged them for appropriate channel. Should be illegal. 14 rounds. I really wish that was a joke, but we've seen examples of that in this series. 3 years ago, I interviewed for a role at a large bank with an initial trial period of 3 months. Both hiring managers and HRs refused to tell me what the salary for the role was if it converted to permanent. I already had a permanent job, so I said no. I received frantic phone calls from hiring managers after I sent the initial rejection because they said I was a perfect fit, but they still refused to disclose what the salary would be. They wouldn't even give me a range. Why? I applied for a travel agent customer service position recently. They emailed me a link to a Zoom meeting. The meeting was pre-recorded. The lady was pretending to do it live and was hyping up the chat that was excited about it. The ending was a pitch for a $400 package that gave me access to their clientele list. Basically, it was a sales job where I had to pay to do the job. Very shady and sketchy. Stay on your toes, folks. A lot of scams are out there lately.
Offering $11 an hour in 2026 is a joke. 15, key carrier. That's a supervisor, a manager with keys to the store. 15, you're kidding. Multi-store manager. Not only a store manager, multiple stores that you're going around to. 17, like what the f are these people?
Imagine having to work in retail being a multi-store manager making $20 an hour, maybe. You're probably still at that $17 range. What a joke. We got another comment from you guys right here. The modern job application process has devolved into a humiliation ritual. I can't really say too much to the contrary on that one. And especially if you're coming out of college right now, it is not looking good at all. US college underemployment hits 42.5% as first job prospects weaken. AI is not just ending entry-level jobs, it's ending career ladders as we know it. Postings for entry-level jobs in the US overall have declined about 35% since January of 2023. And with a survey in February of 2026, 933 US business leaders found that 21% of companies have frozen entry-level hirings due to AI. By the end of 2026, 36% will say they'll stop hiring entry-level workers, and 2027, nearly half, 47%. So how are you ever going to be able to get your foot in the door if you don't already have experience? I don't know what they're expecting to happen, because say even the people who are currently working with that experience are not going to be able to work forever. So eventually all of this is going to come crashing down. And maybe you are lucky enough for one of these companies to even look at your resume instead of just choosing AI. They're making it harder and harder to become an employee every single day.
Have you heard of office trials? They're the new interviews from hell. It's a week-long in-office trial where you work for the company trying to prove to them that you want the job bad enough. Now, companies have just gotten out of control because what even is this? It's beyond a humiliation ritual at this point. Because all those take-home tasks that they offered were bad enough, but they've pushed aside the take-home task for the come into the office while we judge you for a full week. And if you make one mistake, that's it. This is a prime reason why so many people are just dropping out of the job market. Because with trials like these, they've truly made it impossible for many people to simply work.
And we could just move on to some more examples. The pay is anywhere from 28 to 32,000 pounds a year, but they want 10 years of administrative experience. Are you kidding me? This will not be the right opportunity for those who don't know how to smile through the phone in person and brighten up a room, don't delight in interacting with and serving others, aren't extremely detailed oriented, want a detailed job description listing every task that they may be asked to do. So you don't even know what your job is, they're just going to ask you to do absolutely everything. Nice. Here's another listing just lying about pay: professional pet groomer, that initially says the salary is $25 to $35 an hour. And then they message a potential employee, why do you want to be a pet groomer? What do you think? It's obviously the money. Our salary starts at $15 every hour. And then they respond, just so you know, your job posting lists the range is $25 to $35 an hour. That is misleading. We got another comment here. I applied for a job advertised in the local newspaper, went for a 15-minute interview and got the job that lasted 30 years. It was a whole different world back then, and it's definitely gotten way worse since.
So I applied to a job and my resume got downloaded. The woman reached out, I think she was a hiring manager or business owner, and in her email she said, I just want to make sure you understand that this is a volunteer unpaid position. And then I went back to the job description and saw that it was like 7 paragraphs long, and in the middle, like hidden, it said volunteer position, but nowhere did it say unpaid. And based on the title of the job, you just assume that it is a high paying job, so obviously no one's gonna second guess it. And I emailed her back, I'm like, you said this is unpaid, is that correct? And she said, yes, for 6 months it's unpaid volunteer position. And they were asking for 5 years of experience with an MBA. I sent her a professional yet very stern email saying, hey, this isn't cool. You cannot be asking people for 5 years of experience with an MBA for an unpaid volunteer position when the title of this role indicates that it's executive director level. And she sent a very rude email back to me, but I didn't care.
One thing I'd like to know with these types of listings is what is the end goal? Because they put all this time into the job listing just to try to trick people into volunteering, and let's say somebody wasn't paying attention enough and accepted the role. As soon as they eventually realized that they weren't getting paid, they would just end up quitting and going back into the job market. They wouldn't just think, oh, this company got me, I guess I have to volunteer for 6 months. You'll never get anybody to do the job for free. I just don't get it. We got another description that almost sounds like it was made up by aliens. Abilities needed: exposure to computer screens for extended period of time, sitting for extended periods of time, reaching by extending hands or arms in any direction, having finger dexterity in order to manipulate objects with fingers rather than whole hands or arms, for example, using a keyboard. Listen to and understand information and ideas presented through spoken words and sentences. Communicate information and ideas in speaking so others will understand. Read and understand info and ideas presented in writing. Apply general rules to specific problems to produce answers that make sense, and identifying and understand speech of another person. It legitimately sounds like whoever wrote this isn't human. It's so weird. Are you compassionate, love a challenge, and want to feel as though you're making a difference while earning a good wage? Do you want to be a part of a team that makes a difference looking for a job? Or are you looking for a position that warms your heart and soul? Blah, blah, blah. We've heard this all before, right? We could just go down to the bottom of the post: job types, full-time and part-time, paying $13 an hour. A good wage, apparently. If you need a base salary, stop here. This is a commission-only position. You get paid only on what you close, and the upside is huge for those who thrive on that pressure. Okay, man. What you'll do here: hammer warm SMB leads daily on auto dialer. 10x's productivity. I also want to add that this job is based in Beverly Hills, California, so you need to live in that vicinity just to be able to work here. I can't imagine the high cost of living for a job that's commission only. Doesn't seem like something that I'd want to do whatsoever. We got another comment from you guys here. Entry level has now lost its meaning. It's like they don't even want someone who has little to no experience. They legitimately expect someone like a senior to take that entry level and accept whatever BS they give, like low pay or low benefits. It's all manipulation. Like I said before, maybe this works for the company right now, but what happens down the road when all of those experienced workers either retire or die? You're going to have whole generations of workers that don't have any experience because you didn't give them the opportunity, and they're going to be the only ones who can work in this economy. It just seems like the downfall is inevitable.
So fed up with these ridiculous job postings, I'm going to start publicly shaming these companies. Let's start with PGC Digital America, who's looking for a city guide video creator and is paying a whopping $8 to $12 an hour, barely minimum wage. Let's see what these job requirements are. So you're going to create 1 to 5 minute walk and talk videos highlighting public places. Okay, so you're a producer. You speak naturally on camera. Oh, so you're also the talent. You have to record smooth and steady footage using your smartphone. Okay, so I'm the videographer and I'm providing my own equipment. Submit videos along with accurate location details. So I guess I'm doing the post-production and also all the paperwork. Maybe this is a small mom and pop company just starting out. Let's see what this company is about. Oh, no. You have 87,000 followers and almost 1,000 employees. You should be embarrassed to put up a job posting like that. PGC Digital America.
And say if you were really good at doing all of what they required, you should just start a YouTube channel and do it all yourself. You'll probably make more than the $8 to $12 an hour. We could go over to the comment section. $8 to $12 in this economy is crazy. And when they say $8 to $12, it means $8, by the way, in 2026. LinkedIn, Indeed, and ZipRecruiter absolutely need a comment section for these job postings. And even entry level in McDonald's is $15 an hour, by the way. You would legitimately do better working there and then making a YouTube channel as a side project instead of working for this company. We got another one of the crazy descriptions going above and beyond. Who should join? You like working in person with a team in San Francisco. You want to work 7 days a week. You deeply believe that this is the most important mission for humanity and needs to happen yesterday. A little bit dramatic. You're highly technical regardless of the role you're in. We're building technology. You need to understand technology well. You care about aesthetics and design, inside out. If it's not the best product ever, it bothers you, and you need to fix it. You don't need someone to motivate you. You get things done. Sounds like yet another startup that'll probably crash and burn, and you'll be basically working for no money. We are hardcore. We work fast and with dedication. We like to overachieve and work long hours to get the job done. We value the team over the individual. We win together. We lose together. We don't have room for solo glory. We work together in person. We work 5 to 7 days a week in person. That's how we collaborate best, even if it's old school. These examples are never ending. We got a listing for a harvest hand, 17-16 hour, very specific. Are you authorized to work in Canada? Are you available for shift or on-call work? Are you available to start on the date listed in the job posting? Are you willing to relocate for this position? Do you have experience working in this field? Do you have the equipment you need to work? Do you have the required certifications? Do you live near the job location? And do you meet the language requirements listed on the job posting? Employment terms options, early morning, evening, flexible hours, so 24/7? And the experience will train, and then it turns into French, so I guess you need to learn English and French for this job. For $17.60 an hour, and this looks like this is a Canadian listing, so it's actually $12.81 USD. I don't know about that one. Here we can take a look at a selection process, a resume and application review, complete a 2 to 4 hour long homework assignment, also adding in 2 rounds of 40 to 50 minute interviews. Then there's a whole paragraph talking about how great they are. Their past interns are from all these Ivy League schools. Our performance standard is very high. We expect interns to deliver at the same caliber as new grads joining top tech firms or elite startups. And then, not surprising, going to the end of the listing, please state that you understand the intern is unpaid. You really can't make this kind of stuff up anymore.
I have a theory, and I have for a while, that there are no jobs on LinkedIn. They are for lead generation. They just want your information, and there is no job.
And we could just go right over to this post. 1 in 4 job listings on LinkedIn are likely ghost jobs, according to U.S. Bureau of Labor and Statistics, and some of the most impacted cities. LA, 30%, Philly, 30%, Indianapolis, almost 28%, New York, almost 27%, and San Francisco, 26%. But it doesn't stop with just LinkedIn.
What happened to Indeed? I just turned 20 years old and I've had 4 jobs in my life, 3 of which I got from Indeed. I'm looking to leave my current position and have been looking for a new job for around 5 months now. I've applied to hundreds of jobs on Indeed in the past 5 months, and the only 2 that have gotten back to me lied on the job listing, and they're just door-to-door sales jobs with no base pay.
It should be illegal for DoorDash and Uber to advertise on Indeed. That seems pretty common. Indeed and LinkedIn are useless and have been for years. People talk about anything but jobs. Honestly, I've used a temp agency to get my foot in the door with my current company. Indeed has been garbage for 10 years. But we could go back to LinkedIn with this post. Have I found the worst job listing on LinkedIn? What you'll do: creative vision, develop and implement creative concepts that align with our mission, product leadership, oversee the planning, ensuring they meet our high standards, bring ideas to fruition, lead to development, and then going over to the section why you should join them. Professional growth, receive a certificate of internship completion and professional references to boost your career prospects, and then the position is creative director intern, and unpaid internship. So I guess you're supposed to lead this entire thing for free.
All right, so there are 2 things that are crazy when it comes to the current job interview process. I'm not currently interviewing for jobs, but I have a few friends that are, and this is what they're telling me. First, I mentioned this before, it's the combination of the homework assignments and the long interview process. There's like 4, 5, sometimes 6 rounds, online, Zooms, you have to go in person, you have to do a presentation, all that stuff. It was never really like that. You maybe had to do a few rounds, right? Maybe 3, 4, started with a phone call, then you'd go in, and then usually after the 3rd or 4th time, they would have a decision. The second thing they're doing, which I really don't like, is that they are having you go through the entire process, right? Whether you start with a recruiter, an outside recruiter, or not. You do 5, 6 rounds. You even meet like the CEO if the company is small or mid-size enough. Then they more or less string you along for like a month. Sometimes they kind of ghost you, and sometimes they string you along saying like, hey, we're still thinking about it, we're still interviewing other candidates. And then 4 to 6 weeks go by, sometimes longer, and they say, oh, well, like you didn't get the job, we went with someone else.
In the end, just completely wasting your time. And that's a very good transition into the next clip that's up on screen. Me writing a scathing Glassdoor review after a company dragged me through 6 rounds of interviews, made me give a presentation, then decided to go in a different direction. And now when it comes to just applying in the first place, they want to know more than ever about you. Is it me, or is Chick-fil-A the sketchiest place ever when it comes to hiring? Please provide your links to social media accounts. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat, etc. They want to see everything. And I will say, at least they're admitting it on the application, because whether you give the information or not, your employers are watching your social media accounts. I have an entire series on my second channel of people getting fired for their TikToks. You have to be more careful now than ever. We got another very weird description here. How did you perform in mathematics in high school? How did you perform in your native language at high school as well? And then please share your rationale or evidence for high school performance above. And then they go through everything they want from you: the scoring systems, ranking, awards, SAT or ACT scores. I mean, if anything, wouldn't this already be on your resume, especially if you're a younger person getting into the workforce? And let's say you do land these types of jobs, it's not like they're treating their employees any better. The way Kroger treats his employees. Team, a doctor's note will no longer be accepted if you call off work. The only call-offs that will be accepted are jury duty, death of an immediate family member, leave of absence, or you were admitted to the hospital. This is for Kroger, a grocery store. We got another comment from you guys right here. When I was younger, I applied to a security position at a local mall that paid $13.50 an hour. They wanted me to have a criminal justice degree.
Today's post is for a trade show research and booking coordinator with Health is Freedom LLC in Tampa, Florida, paying a whopping $15 to $20 an hour for full-time work. Let's see what this job is all about. We are seeking a dynamic and detail-oriented trade show research and booking coordinator to lead the planning and execution of our trade show presence. Okay, let's see what some of these skills are. Strong research skills. Okay, no problem. Excellent organizational skills. I have those. Effective communication skills. Pretty standard. Ability to manage multiple projects simultaneously. Most of us can do that. Here's where it gets wonky. Knowledge of animal physiology or quantum engineering is a plus for understanding technical exhibit requirements or specialized event needs. So for this job, you need to moonlight as an animal physiologist or quantum engineer. If you had either of those skill sets, I can't imagine that you wouldn't be doing anything better with your life, and you would want to be a trade show research. Full-time, $15 to $20 an hour, but 30 hours a week. So technically full-time, but not really.
Going straight over to the comment section, it's because it's a fake job. They could simply deny everyone who applies because they don't qualify and still get tax credits for having the position up. We've talked about a similar example of that already on this channel, where many companies have a ton of job listings, but they never end up actually hiring, but it makes the company look good overall because it looks like they're hiring. That's how well we're doing right now, and the stockholders actually think the company's doing good, but that's just not always the case. Here we got an example of a legitimately scam listing when applying for jobs. Whatever you do, don't do this. And there's a pop-up that kind of looks like a CAPTCHA that tells you to do a whole bunch of things on your keyboard, and it's just a way for scammers to put viruses on your computer. These scammers are getting more and more devious with their virus schemes. You definitely need to be way more careful. Another one lying about this being a remote job location notice. This is an in-person role based in San Diego, California. We're posting this as a remote opportunity nationally because we're willing to relocate the right candidate. So you're just not telling the truth. Okay, here we got a post from some CEO. Am I insensitive to the world if I think that people should pay a small fee, $20, to apply for a job as a means to prevent an overwhelming quantity of underqualified or mismatched submissions? But then what's stopping you from posting a very enticing job listing and just collecting $20 from every job applicant and never hiring anyone? That's probably what would end up happening. We got another comment here. I'm convinced all this is just HR trying to keep their jobs looking busy when the company has no plan in hiring for the next 3.5 years. And that goes very well with the next clip.
Gee willikers, I sure am glad to find a date and time I can do this interview that they asked me to find a date and time for. All right, let's see what's available. All right, not today, so that's okay. Tomorrow? No. Day after that? No. 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 No.
This clip just keeps going on, and of course there's no availability. Shockingly, another scam. That's when you report it. Did you try yesterday? I got an interview once and showed up and was told that the hiring manager was off that day. When I came back the next day, the hiring manager said they weren't even hiring right now. You didn't click on July 91st at 43:01 a.m. and 2049, silly. The employers were testing to see if you clicked through all the dates to evaluate your dedication. I mean, that's not too out of the realm of possibilities in today's world.
This is the most insane job posting I've seen on LinkedIn. It's for a video producer and editor at a $95,000 per year total package. It's for a company called Ovo Talent. They appear to represent fitness models. This sounds reasonable, but here's the twist. The actual cash salary is just $1,300 per month, which is less than 16 grand per year. This job is actually an insane on-site role where most of the quote money you make comes in the form of rent, meals, and a Soho House membership. The demands are also insane since Ovo Talent expects you to survive this without PTO or real support. And just one small thing that shows you how red flaggy this job is, besides making half of minimum wage, is that the poster counts Adobe software is a part of your salary, which is a tool that the poor soul needs in order to do this job. So here's the question. If most of your pay is room, board, and software you need for work, does that actually violate labor laws?
And yet again, this job listing is in an incredibly expensive city, New York. So I don't think you're going to do too well with $15,000 a year, even if some of your expenses are paid for. But we'll just finish off this video with this clip.
All right, Gray Line X out of Tampa. You are looking for a videographer, a photographer, and a marketing all-star. All right, so that already sounds dubious to me. Oh, let's see, for a whopping $20 to $25 an hour. I'm already enraged, but we'll get to that. Let's see what this job description is all about here. All right, Gray Line X is a rapidly growing company operating in the at the intersection of technology, media, and innovation. Well, your salary range doesn't sound too innovative. You will focus on our two internal brands, Drone Pros and Business Casual Men. If you've ever watched a great video and thought, I could make something even better, this is the place for you. Is it really? Is it? I'm not sure. About the role, we are looking for a high level content creator. So high level does not mean entry level, right? It means someone who has a lot of experience. A high level content creator who can do more than just film. You must understand how to build and grow YouTube and TikTok channels from the ground up. Okay, so newsflash, Gray Line X. That skill set is a social media manager and specialist.
And just like the previous examples, if you were truly that good at scaling YouTube and TikTok channels, why wouldn't you just do it yourself? You'd probably end up making more money than working for this company. But I think you guys get the point. That's all I got for you guys today. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. YouTube thinks you'll like this video popping up on screen right now, but hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like, and I'll talk to you guys later.